Good morning, Facebook land. Happy Sunday. This is Mike George coming at you live. Yeah, I guess we're pretty much at high noon here. High noon here on Sunday, I guess what I still consider Sunday morning here. Well, I guess technically we'll say Sunday afternoon. Oh my goodness, though. It is a beautiful Sunday outside. Oh my goodness. And, it's not every day that I give shout outs to the Lord. But damn, the Lord was good. And perhaps more specifically, the Lord was good last night. Oh, goodness gracious. I needed some divine, what we'll say, heart. And the Lord has provided, and sometimes, the Lord has a funny way of provide a thing. Whew, in the places and in the ways you least expect it. And by golly, thank the fuck God. I needed it like unimaginably. Anyways, I'm gonna call this a take one here. I need to kind of I have some other shit to do before I get made, camera ready here. Oh, are people actually watching this shit? I thought it was just me bitzing into the void here. I didn't know this was actually getting out to the... Facebook's not always savvy about telling me who the fuck watches these things. And, sometimes I just kind of spitball it and run with it. And, that's kind of one of the fun of these things. Oh, anyways, it is Sunday morning. And as you can undoubtedly tell, I am still waking up. Oh, and my goodness, I am waking up from quite a marvelous night. A night of having a beautiful lad over here. I kind of had a nice little date over at the place. Oh my goodness, and I'm not gonna be one to sit here and kiss and tell about boys and shit. But by golly, I needed that like you don't even imagine. Oh my God, if you only knew, girl, if you only knew, Skip, how much I needed that dick. Oh my God. And how much I need this coffee now as a consequence. Now, okay, and I'm sort of, I'm waxing a little bit poetic here, but, I know this is going to sound over dramatic as fuck. But, this is going to sound like absurd, really, but I had some Latino dick last night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh, I'm not even going to go on about how Latino dick is just wonderful and, insert potentially racist opinions on how Latino dick is just wonderful. But, more than that, I did not realize until I really thought about this that my ex, Jared in Portland, kind of the ringleader behind a lot of my past year of, or God, has it been a year? I guess it was 2 years ago, but it was about a year. Like, the whole fucking nightmare from being, an abuse victim. Oh, God. And, the whole fucking shit show of me being homeless in Portland. Anyways, obviously, I have a sour taste in my mouth, if not a few traumas in there from that shit show. But anyways, I had this moment where I realized that this is the first Latino guy that I had since my ex. I think so. And, mind you, I've had my streaks of Latino boys over the years, but really, I had not experienced a Latino lad in that long, and it's weird because I don't know if I'm just bullshitting myself this or something or what, but there was a moment this morning or actually last night when this boy fucked the bejesus out of me. But really, on a much deeper level, there was a moment of healing. And I don't know if I'm just I'm really trying to separate. I'm really trying to separate out obviously the infatuation elements from the just the good old amazing God just mind blowing sex. I'm really trying to separate out all the superficial elements to this. I promise you. And I'm really trying to boil this down to this kind of profound sort of notion, I guess, at least in my head, that this somehow healed me from being raped a couple years ago. I know it's fucking absurd to think about that. Or I don't know. If I can at least convince myself of this, that's all I need, really. But ooh, girl, whatever that was that the Lord had provided for me last night in the form of good, solid dick, it was profound. And like, this is a hookup, mind you. This isn't even somebody I fell in love with, or God, for God's sake, you know? My God, though, it's amazing. At least I don't think I'm falling in love with this person. I mean, I could still. I mean, I don't. How can I rule anything out at this point? But by God. Anyways, I'm going to start the Sunday. I mean, this was sort of my way to start the day by thank you, God, for like that dick last night, but also on a much deeper level. Like, thank you for the healing that dick had provided. And I know, like, it sounds like melodramatic and as fuck to say something like that. And I'm not even trying to be like, you know, whatever, a big old slut about it and shit, like, and brag about it in that sense. But God golly, I have to at least express some gratitude for that because, yeah, for the obvious reasons, I think. Ooh, child. Anyways, start off the day with that. And you know what? As always, there is a song for that. There is a song for getting some good dick that gets you to fuck over a traumatic event. I think there ought to, I mean, there has to be. There has to be. I know there's one in there somewhere for overcoming trauma. But overcoming trauma on a dick, you know, more specifically. And I'm going to find that song, by golly, because that, if nothing else, that song found me. Ooh, child. Oh. Ooh. Anyways, happy Sunday, kids. Well, I mean, I've shared what I'm grateful to the Lord for this morning or afternoon or whatever we're at now. How about you guys? Why don't you share? I mean, you know, Sunday's about praying, so I'm sure there's somewhere fresh in your mind a recent prayer or two, right? Tell Mama here. Oh, my God, this coffee just, everything tastes wonderful today. And I promise you it's not because of drugs, my dears. Oh my gosh. My goodness gracious. But we are going to put on some good music. Oh, I need some just like, whatever. I don't know why. I don't even care. Good God. Good morning, kids. Let me get some, let me get my morning bowl here.
You say your heart ain't never been broken. You think you know where you're going.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous outside. It's like 20 degrees. It's perfect. It is. The Lord is smiling upon us today, kids. And I just don't give a fuck. I know I'm being the shirtless, trashy Southerner here, but why not? I'm in the South, so I can get away with this, can't I? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, anyways, the Lord is good. You know, I don't really wax poetic about the Lord very often. I try to keep that kind of internal. Everybody's got their own version of such, I assume. Hopefully yours has been good to you. Oh my goodness. Happy Sunday, the day of rest, the Sabbath. I'm trying to remember now, this is not Easter, obviously. I think we already had Easter. The resurrection and such, so forth, involved in that. I gotta do a little bit more research on what exactly Easter means, especially, you know, in the particulars of it all. Coffee time. Alright, so, grab your bong, grab your coffee, grab whatever it is that you need to get your brain started if you haven't already. My goodness. Assuming by now we've already, you know, the God-fearing ones among us have been to church by now, I hope. Oh my goodness. There we go. What is on the mind? What is on the mind of y'all? What's on the pulse of the nation this morning, kids? Or ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Oh, I should say kids. I have one of my old teachers on here. Goodness gracious. I can't call her a kid at all. My God, I should be calling her Mrs. You know, our Madam Nasera. My goodness. Nice to see you though. Thank you. I don't know what it does to see, you know, somebody that you taught 30 years later shirtless with a bong on a Sunday morning. I don't know if that what kind of thought that it evokes as an educator of mine. My God, I hope not horrible ones. My goodness. But I hope everybody is enjoying a beautiful, I mean, it really is a good day. I mean, I try to remind myself, it is 2022. It is still possible to have fabulous days. Somehow, somehow, because I really, just in specific regards to Louisiana here, I was kind of bracing for myself for the worst possible weather here, hurricanes, humidity out the wazoo. I mean, just everything sufferable, imaginable, I guess. And somehow none of that has transpired yet. Not to challenge the Lord on that one. Because Lord knows he is, or I shouldn't even say he, my God, I should not be assuming the Lord's gender here. That'll get me a fucking hurricane right out my ass here. But, anyways, yes. No, life has been good. I mean, damn it. Yeah, fuck, man. And, it's easy to sort of, get kind of depressed about the really big picture of things in life. But sometimes it's, the little stupid shit. I mean, which obviously can go either way. I mean, there's a lot of random stupid shit that bothers me, too. But, you also, I've had to really tell myself, you know what, there's a lot of, stupid random shit out there in the world that brings me little tiny joys, stupid shit, my God, I used to have this list, back when I live journaled. First of all, we'll put live journal on that list. My God, if anybody even remembers live journal, it was a blogging service, one of the first. I'm pretty sure, though, now live journal is owned by, some shadowy Russian company. And I wouldn't be surprised if, somehow I find out, that my live journal was, scanned and analyzed and things to, predict how I'd vote and, use somehow against us in the 2016 election. We go and find out. I don't know. Well, obviously I'm waxing poetic here. I'm assuming that the Trump administration back then had, let's say the competence to do something quite sophisticated. Sometimes I wish. Sometimes I wish that the corrupt folks were as sophisticated as we often give themselves credit for. Well, I think it's just that we're kind of oblivious, really. But, I guess it's all kind of in relative terms. I love this idea. It's interesting because I've drank the Kool-Aid before. I'm not trying to somehow say I'm better than everybody else with this shit, but all the dreamt up conspiracies and shit. Obviously everybody remembers Hillary Clinton when she ran for president and how all the vitriol that she had to deal with. My God, that poor woman. Oh my God. And to be fair, I gave into it. I was part of that whole fucking shit show. It's really quite shameful, just personally when I reflect on it. And I was not even a Republican back then. I was a Bernie guy, and I was, oh my gosh, it's so sad really when I look back on how much I hated Hillary Clinton for no real reason. And then you really kind of begin to appreciate this sort of I don't know, ecosystem, I guess, that oh my God. I mean, it sort of reminds me it's interesting. So I'm going to reflect a little bit on, this is a really deep one for me. And it kind of came to light very recently, actually. And, let me give a little bit of context here. I mean, this was a reflection I did on bullying. And this might not go the way you expect. If you already have your preconceptions of what I'm going into in terms of the topic of bullying, okay? So let me try to give some context here. Yeah, I mean, bullying. I mean, in the last decade or so, especially in the queer community, we went through a big anti-bullying campaign. And the context of that is that, bullying's role in suicide and in particular suicides of queer people, particularly, the young queer population. And it's odd because I'm a queer person myself, I think. I identify as such. My goodness, I've always been part of the conversation, that whole bullying conversation, and obviously I'm gay. I mean, I like to think to myself that I stand up for people when they're getting bullied, queer people that are getting bullied or singled out for, for who they are, for being queer in this particular regard. And I never, it's funny, and I think we all do this. There's a little bit of that savior complex to where yeah, damn it. There's a little bit of that savior complex, I guess, and maybe that's a white person thing. I have, whatever. It's probably, or a male thing, to where you kind of try to stand up for other, you try to stand up for people that you don't think can stand up for themselves. Or you somehow somehow you've convinced yourself that there's some reason that they're silenced, okay? Or some reason that they're withholding, you know? And a good example of which might be like a woman, like I don't know, I'm thinking of a woman in the Middle East, in a very conservative Middle East culture who has this hesitation to speak up because obviously the fear of reprisal that these women just sort of work, sort of live under on an everyday kind of systemic basis. I mean, it's incredible. Wow. I mean, it kind of reminds me actually, like, so this is going to sound racist, but like not obviously like not in a, in an evil way, but like, being Taiwanese myself, or half Taiwanese or whatever, at least on paper, I kind of make this joke about like the difference between Chinese people and Taiwanese people and sort of my own perception of it. And my joke is that kind of like Chinese people versus Taiwanese people, that China's always like sort of the I don't know, China just to me in my mind is like from a very like broad brush almost racist way, China's very basic as fuck. Okay? They're basic as fuck. And I find that like the Chinese like derive a lot, like, they're known as, for copycatting everything, right? They copycat everything around them, China does. And so, like, I just sort of grew up with the notion of China being sort of like a copied version of America, in many ways. But, like, I want to kind of zoom out of that for a moment and go just between China and Taiwan, okay? Because I'm Taiwanese a little bit. And this becomes very relevant in terms of the politics today because, I'm pretty sure Taiwan is the next Ukraine, if y'all catch my drift. And it worries the fuck out of me, obviously, and it's prompted a lot of reflection. One of which is that when I talk to a Chinese person, it's like, I don't know how to explain this, and maybe if you guys have maybe noticed the same thing, I'm curious, because it might just be my own bias here. But Chinese people to me sound whipped when you talk to them. I don't know if I'm talking to a Chinese person versus like any other, like, Korean, Japanese, Indian. There's something very specific about Chinese people. And of course not all Chinese people, but just if I was to think of the average Chinese person on the street, there's this sense that I'm talking to some like an abusive, like there's some sort of weird hesitation in their voice, and there's some sort of notion, at least in my mind, that they're kind of saying what they feel is correct to say, if that makes any sense. Like there's always like this kind of sort of like hesitation, like almost as if they know that you're being watched by like somebody that if they hear what they truly have to say, that they'll suffer for it. And I'm pretty sure that is that's a sign of abuse, from what I understand, in terms of those little things that you look for, if you think that like somebody's wife is being beaten and shit. But like on a very broad, like on a very kind of large societal scale, it kind of reminds me of that. I get that notion from Chinese people. Taiwanese people, of course, I'm half Taiwanese, hello. But like you talk to a Taiwanese person and it very much feels different. Like they could give a fuck less. Like Taiwanese people in my mind are very liberated. Like you can tell in the way they talk, the passions that they have, they speak very independently. They speak their mind. And oftentimes what's on their mind is contrarian, okay? Not exactly in line with the government or whatever whatever the dominant narrative voice is, okay? And, the more I, like, sort of grow up and the more I really, I guess, get older and I sort of, like, understand the sophistications of these things, the more I just have an incredible pride over that, like the Taiwanese people. They really embody things like freedom. This vague notion of freedom that we Americans are always, like, trying to somehow, pretend like we're the only ones who understand, somehow. But, like, this concept of freedom is like fascinating because Americans know nothing about freedom, honey. Americans can only. I love it because like we bullshit ourselves into thinking we know what freedom really is. And honey, try to explain that to a Ukrainian person right now defending their fucking home from rockets and shit. Like what freedom means, And of course, having a fight for things as basic as a goddamn home. It makes you think about freedom in a totally different way because I think in America we think of freedom as like, $5 a gallon or less gasoline, for instance. Like, God forbid they take away our gasoline, like things like that. Like, it's amazing to me. It really is. And it just goes to show like, the in a way, sort of the superficiality of what we consider freedom. We know nothing about freedom. In fact, I would argue well, anyways, yes, we have a lot to learn about freedom, and hopefully it doesn't take some awful event to show us that. Oh gosh, I got a little bit long-winded on a tangent, as I so often do on these things. And you guys, I have to say, you guys are quite complicit in this because nobody's left any comments yet. But nonetheless, at some point I was talking about, I was talking about Chinese versus Taiwanese people because Chinese people, in my opinion, are whipped. You can tell. You can tell in the way they talk. You can tell in the way, in my opinion. You know, I mean, from my own observations, okay? Now, mind you, I can think of right now some Chinese individuals in my own career and life that perhaps don't exhibit this, at least quite so obviously. Or I don't know, I mean, it would be presumptuous of me to assume what their politics are, obviously. Maybe they're fine with the communists. I mean, I will not completely disparage the Chinese Communist Party here. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind they get shit done. If nothing else, they are known as to be ruthlessly efficient. One has to admire, truly, especially in today's day of just utter chaos and everybody fighting amongst each other and not being able to come to any consensus on anything. You know, and poor Joe Biden here, you know, having a fucking 55, like whatever. How the hell he has such a low approval rating is beyond me, except for just the typical bullshit systems that we already know are in play. But nonetheless, here we are. But anyways, Sunday morning. Hello, Lord. Hello, y'all. I'm not going to get on here and wax about politics on a Sunday. That is not... I mean, that's what Meet the Press is for. Otherwise, it is a day to just enjoy life. And, life has been enjoyed, my dears. As some of you guys might have heard from the earlier parts of the broadcast. But anyways, that's enough about me talking. I actually do have to do things like at least get my bowl packed here. So let me focus on that for a second while you guys say something, you know? Or am I just kind of what's on the... Oh my God, I hate to even imagine some of the situations in which you guys might be watching this. Like if one of you bitches has this on like a big screen TV out there, like, you know, with other people watching and like, who the fuck is this shirtless guy on TV smoking his bowl on the Lord's hour? So why don't you guys tell me about your Sunday here? This can't just be me here. Come on. Well, first of all, we have to have a little bit of a Turing test to make sure that the people that Facebook tells me are watching are real people and not just, you know, Grindr bots or some made-up profile that Facebook has conjured up to trick me into something. I don't know. So I guess perhaps it's a little bit... it'd be a little bit... quite a bit contrived, I guess. Let's see what else is here. Where the fuck is my God, where the fuck is everything here? Where the fuck is my mind? Alright, I'm gonna play some more music. I don't know why I cut the music here. I gotta get my... It's funny, it's interesting to see who pops up on these things.
This is new to me. I'm skin and bones and overtones on. Things that used to be. My daddy was said beautifully. This is new to me. All I have is things that used to be. My daddy was you said to me.
go. It's just so quiet today. What the fuck?
You see the thing about common sense is sensing coming along with my heart on my sleeve when you speak to me. Broken promises will never bring us closer together like dirty words, dirty words, dirty words.
All right, got my. Of course, the lighter's not where it needs to be, as usual. I'm working on a couple Raspberry Pi little projects here, so I have two. I have Hoda and good old Gladys here. Gladys is actually right. Gladys is the one that is powering the what we see here on the screen here. That's good old Gladys. So there's been a couple little projects in the works here. Oh my god, it's like fucking hot. Oh my god, Joel. Hi, Joel. That's random as fuck. Good morning. I haven't seen. Oh my god, Joel. Good morning. I think I might have scared him away. I can never tell like who pops in and out of these things. It's funny. All right. Oh my god, Depeche. I don't know. I never grew up listening to Depeche Mode, but now like, I don't know. This song reminds like Depeche Mode always reminds me of like guys that I had crushes on in the '90s, but like never allowed myself to really admit to myself because I was straight. I think so. I don't know. It's a weird. It's a weird. I never really like listened to Depeche Mode like when it was actually popular. You know, I was like a kid then. My god. Well, elementary school. I think. In the days that Mrs. Nacera taught me, my god. That's my kindergarten teacher that's like watching me on Facebook Live, like waking up and hungover. This is the future, kids. Welcome. Welcome, you gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy the irony of it all. I mean, it's kind of beautiful in a way, really. I just shouldn't say it like so, you know, I think it's kind of cool in a way. In kind of a breaking down the fourth curtain way, I guess, if you will. And Phil Knight, hello. My god, is there like a comment section that I'm unaware of? Maybe that's kind of what's going on here. No. It really is the case that nobody has left a single comment. How? Or did I disable them somehow? Maybe I disabled the comments. Oh well. It doesn't matter. I guess just you guys watching is comments enough. That is not what I was looking for. That is like the wrong. Edit that one out. Edit that one out for the kids here. Bow, 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 I was gonna say sing along, but nobody's even leaving a goddamn comments now. Come on, if I can't even get in a comment in there, how am I ever gonna get a voice in there? Uh-oh. I got the little bitch alert from Facebook telling me I'm using copyrighted material. Alright. Well, you know what I'm gonna do now? And I guess that probably means Facebook's probably somehow getting in the way of us talking. I can leave me. Ah, fuck. Well, you know what I'll do? Let's start a new video. That's real simple to do, so... Seems like a good, where are we at anyways? Fuck, I probably managed to filibuster y'all for a good 45 minutes already, haven't I? Or something. They just won't even tell me. God damn it. Let's see. Now, well, I'll figure this out. I'm still an old man after all. I don't know technology. So, on that note, kids, well, you'll see me again here on the near future, I'm sure. But in the meantime, take care of each other and take care of yourselves, kids.